This is where it's at.
Hey. Hey. Hallo.
Nice.
How now, brown cow? Brown cow. How now? You see what I did there?
I see what you did there. Let me ask you, do we get in trouble? Is that like a... Are we stealing that from Mr. Farrell's crew on that film?
I think he'll be all right.
I'm pretty sure he's not going after us financially.
I would hope not.
How are you, my man?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. When we go this long stretch without talking to each other, I feel like there's just so much to get to.
Feels like we're rekindling things as we come back.
I know. But, let me go ahead and make my apology.
Oh, the Ryan apology segment.
Yeah, there's only one tonight, and I'm sure there's probably many more.
Are you sure?
There's probably many more that should be made. But it seems to be like one... Okay, don't get me wrong. There's a few, but it seems to be one person that's really every show, like they're waiting with a notebook to write it down.
Yeah,
and then they let me know
they're ready to tell you.
Ready. So the one that which is they're all embarrassing, but this one's pretty embarrassing.
Oh,
well, especially because everyone, forgets that I have a master's degree in writing. So when I mix up two words, it doesn't say
definitely
much.
have to throw that out there.
So when we were doing the story about the sword man, if you will,
yep.
I believe his name was O'Connell
or O'Donnell,
something O'Connell,
something,
and he ran at the officer, and I said something like he was trying to impair him. What I meant to say was he was trying to impale him.
Oh,
an impale is a stab through. Impairing is something different.
Simple slip of the tongue.
I mean, it's just getting to the point where maybe one or two, and I can claim that. And now, when there's multiple, maybe
this has now become a bit.
Well, maybe I freeze up. Maybe I'm on. You
got nervous.
Show we're recording.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way.
I feel much better now that we've cleared that up.
Impale versus impair.
Impale.
I swear I understood that before, but now I definitely will never make that mistake again.
I hope not.
So I also received an email with a meme that I put up on our social media pages today.
I saw that.
You saw it. I hope so. Take a look at our social media every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
We both post stuff to it, so I hope you're familiar with it.
Before my mid-morning nap.
But this meme I thought was initially really funny, and then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, this it's not just funny. I mean, there's some truth to it, and it has to do with trans athletes in sports, and that was a long time ago. We talked about that. I think it was like episode 5 or 6, something like way back in the day.
This is what, number 16?
I think this is 16. I mean, we were cruising. And it's just constant wisdom. It doesn't slow down. And so I started thinking about it, and I don't know. I mean, it's only that it didn't look and see our. I know that all day you're looking to go on our social media, but this was a meme of a graph, and on the graph there was a straight line. I know there's some more scientific terms for these graphs.
A straight line.
There's a straight line on the bottom, and it basically was insinuating that from, I think it started at 1900, the year 1900, all the way until 2020.
All right, I'm getting a great picture in my head.
It's just a straight line on the bottom.
Straight line.
For 0. So there's really no need for the graph until you get to about 2020. And then
something happens.
Turns upward.
Interesting.
On the number of people in 2020 that started, the amount of testicular issues
Uh-oh.
in women's sports.
Oh no. That's a bad trend.
It's a trend that I don't know how I feel about it, because we talked about it and it doesn't make sense, and it just seems off. Is it a joke? Is it not a joke? Are people, going to be offended by it? They shouldn't be. I think that it makes sense that it could be a joke. I think that if there's a transgender, how do you say it? The man that wants to be a woman, you should be able to understand that the humor in that. And I think that's the first step in being able to move forward with that, and the acceptance of the trans world is trans people themselves being able to say, okay, we understand this is a little bit different and it's going to take some time. What do you think?
Well, from the bottom of my heart, man or woman, I don't want anybody to have testicular injuries, because that's painful.
That's true.
So I can't imagine how they happen, but I bet it sucked.
I feel like I just overlooked the important part, which was the testicular issues.
Yeah, we don't want anybody to have testicular issues. So
right. So I think that's how Stay in the Gray will leave it.
That's how we want to. Yeah.
Is that we don't want that chart to go up at all.
At all.
For
we
that
sympathize.
reason. Yeah. It has nothing to do with whether you should or shouldn't have testicles.
Hashtag no more testicular injuries for men or women.
Oh, men, right. Yes. Let's
Boom.
type that. Type that all out. That's ours. We claim it.
We need a T-shirt.
That thing goes all the way around.
That would be great.
If someone's like, "Can you turn around?" I didn't quite get the whole thing.
My God.
So we're getting more and more emails. Although it was brought to my attention that we should probably be having you guys really reach out to us on social media. And I think I agree with that. I mean, interaction's a lot easier there. It keeps me from checking all our emails all the time, which I don't mind doing.
Do we have a website?
We do have a website. It's www. No, actually.
Oh, don't say it.
I'm not supposed to say it if anybody's listened to our previous couple shows. It's just stayinthegraypodcast.com. We have message boards. We have ways to send messages to us through an email. We have
something called a blog on there.
We have a blog. That is a weblog.
A weblog.
And so go check the site out. It's pretty good. But look us up on the social media. Jump on there and respond and talk. I mean, we crave the interaction.
Tell us what you think.
Tell us what you think, or not, or just say something about how stupid we are, or say something about Trey's stories or anything. We welcome it.
Welcome.
So we got a couple. The first one I got is from a woman that you know, Trey.
Oh, really?
I will call her Mama Trey.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah.
That could be
which
risky.
Which woman was that? Mama Trey, and she wanted to let me know that she's really excited that she earned a badge on Facebook.
A badge?
Like a super fan badge or something. You get those on Facebook. So
okay.
She's on our page and she posts.
I was like, I didn't even know we were selling badges.
I think there's like a badge next to her name now, and she posts
my gosh.
something. So good for her, and congratulations.
Great job. Thank you, Mother.
I feel like my mom's going to be jealous, and so she's going to do what it takes to get that badge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I like it.
A little competition. So
I like it.
Look, the badges are up for anybody can get one of these things. So you guys jump on our Facebook page, Stay in the Gray Podcast, and fight it out. We love it. But my mom, Trey, has been relentless about getting her Stay in the Gray Podcast T-shirt.
Okay.
She feels that because she was one of the first to email us that she deserves one.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right. It does make sense. But I've told her over and over that they're not here yet. And I will get them to her as soon as
Chill out.
So we do have merch on the way, and it's going to be great. I can't wait to hand it out to you guys.
Very cool.
And go from there. But so the main email I wanted to talk about tonight was from a listener in Chicago, and this person was so detailed. I can't tell him how much I appreciate the time he spent on it. Trey, he talked about the show, a couple different shows we did. He said what he liked, what he didn't like, and that he was just really impressed. And then
that's awesome.
I asked him if he was talking about this show. But
right.
He said he was very impressed.
Sure he listened to us?
Yeah, very impressed. And he likes what we're starting to do and the difference between early on in our podcasting careers and now, which was 2 months. The difference in how much he can see the passion and the informative nature of the show now, with a little bit of humor, which is what we do. And he was talking about two of the shows that we did. One of them was something I appreciate because we talked about the stereotypes of Americans from Europe. And the Europeans feel like, oh, they only know English and they don't this. And we actually discussed, like intelligent human beings, that it was probably because we don't grow up with other countries in close proximity.
Right.
That speak different languages. Except for Mexico, and there's a lot of Spanish speakers.
Right.
You know, our schools do require Spanish mostly.
Yeah.
Until you get old enough and they offer French and Latin. I'm not sure what you're going to do with Latin at this point, but they offer it. He went on to say that he's experienced overseas and being in Europe, and then he challenged me when I said, "Well, it's universal language," and he goes, "Well, do you know what language they speak if, say, in business?" You had a French company dealing with a Japanese company. Ooh, I know. I was like, well, wow, okay.
Mind blown.
And that's true. And, you know, part of me wants to say, and I'm going to look this up more, so everybody give me a break here. I didn't able to do every single bit of research.
I wonder if somebody's writing an email right now.
Right now. And email me, that would save me some time. But I think that it could very well be English.
That'd be interesting to find out.
Because I think it's a universal language. I do, and I think that if somebody speaks French and somebody speaks Japanese, it's very unlikely that you're dealing with companies that speak French and Japanese, both of them. But English has become kind of dominant. And that's just me, maybe being a silly American, but that's my thought.
Maybe
what do you
the
think?
Google Translate app for these high.
Well, that's true.
You know, these big time transactions, business transactions.
Wouldn't it be funny if they were in like a big time meeting over video and they did the Google, what was it?
Google Translate?
Google Translate, sorry.
That would be fun.
They did Google Translate and they got like one little word off or something was off, but it just... the context of their language was just like the opposite, and there was just this huge fight.
Called him like a fat cow or something.
Yeah, but in reality, he didn't. He said, "You're a very polite
handsome
gentleman,
man,
handsome, polite gentleman," and all of a sudden, he disgraced him and his family just because of Google, whatever.
It's terrible.
But so that was an interesting point that this listener brought up, and I'd like to look into it.
Well, take it a little bit further in our love of sports. I mean, you think about the World Cup, you think about the World Baseball Classic that's become very popular around the world now. You know, you have the umpires, the referees. What language do they speak when they have all these different countries playing each other? So it'd be interesting to know.
That's true, and I've thought sometimes when with the World Cup, I think I've heard different explanations for it, that they'll try and get a ref that does speak both, or you know,
that's got to be tough.
I know.
Impressive though.
I know. There's like 300 refs on the roster on the payroll, you know, trying to find the right mix.
That's impressive.
But that'd be something to look into too. That's interesting. But that's the point: is that any kind of worldwide, you know, bringing people together with different languages. I don't think there's anything wrong with maybe having a universal language. As an American that only speaks English fluently,
works out for us.
I speak a word of about 6 different other languages. I can speak like 10 words.
Yeah, all the bad words, huh?
Well, the bad words are just like hi, hi, how are you, or like, you know,
my name is.
Thank you, you know, all those. But so the other thing that he mentioned, this listener, was it was kind of intense, and it really made me step back on the abortion talk.
Okay,
that we had with Jess. And I know we'll hit that topic again because
so many layers to that.
There's so many layers, and we ended up talking about other things that went up certain regions of the body, and we got off topic a little bit, but I think there's a lot there. And this listener hit me hard with this. He said, he lives in Chicago, and so I'm not afraid to say that, but in Chicago, there's a lot of walking traffic, a lot of bicycling, a lot of it's crowded. It's like New York in a sense. And so this person said he was riding his bike. Oh, God, take it easy over there.
I like him already.
Yeah, I figured you guys would be buddies. And he was coming to an intersection, and this woman kind of just, you know, I don't know all the details from what he wrote, but she just jumped in front of him accidentally, or walked in front of him, and he had to slam his brakes. And so she kind of said, I'm sorry. And he kind of, you know, he claimed that he was just really nice about it, and I might not have been, but he said, it's okay, whatever. And she said, it happened to be on the very day that Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Federally, right?
Federally.
Gotcha.
And she looked up at him and she said, I'm sorry, this Roe v. Wade decision just has me all out of shape. I can't focus.
Okay.
And right away, before I continued reading this story, I just kind of rolled my eyes. And I don't know why. I think it's just because, look, function like a human being. If things happen in the world that you don't like, take it easy, take a deep breath, and let's move forward. But don't be in the streets, jumping in front of it. Could have been a car.
Right.
If you're really that out of sorts about a decision the Supreme Court made to give power back to the states. Okay. But what got me was what he told her. And he looked at her and he said, well, if you're this upset about it, there's another side that isn't as upset about it. And of course she gave him lip. And he said, my mother was the product of a rape.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what he's saying is his grandmother was raped, in case you couldn't figure that out. His grandmother was raped. And so if his mom hadn't been born, obviously he wouldn't be there.
Right. Man, that's powerful.
Yeah. And you start thinking about that. And then I'm sure there are plenty of cases out there like that where these people think about it in a different way. But I started thinking a little bit about it, and you can't sit there and say, okay, well, that's a whole reason to, get rid of abortion 100% no matter what because of these things. But it is a reason to look at things differently when it comes to just because somebody is raped. You and I talked about that. And I said I couldn't imagine having to live with that child as it grew up, being a product of somebody that had done that to the mom. And turns out here that for all I know, this is a person that, he told me a little bit about himself in the email and seems a pretty successful guy and world traveled and had a life, probably impacted others in a lot of ways. And if somebody said, oh, I was raped, let's just whatever, then he wouldn't be here. And again, I don't know if it's enough to I guess I can understand people that would still make that decision. But man, take a look at the other side of it too. That there are people like this that are thriving.
Well, it would be interesting to, find out from his grandmother what made her decide to go ahead and have that child.
That's really interesting.
With that dramatic, the way it happened, obviously very dramatic, going through a rape like that. What made her decide? In her mind, was it in a weird way a miracle? I don't know if she was having issues getting pregnant and thought, maybe this is my one shot. I don't know. So
it could be anything, but I think I forget I think the email said something along, I'm not going to pull it all up right now, but I think it said something along the lines of, remember this was a long time ago. This wasn't just the other day. This was, I don't know how it all was set up back in the day.
Do we know how old he is, age range?
Yeah, he said he was in his, late 40s, I believe.
So around our age.
Yeah, I'm not claiming the late yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're still early. But
barely.
But he's I think close to 50, and so there you go. That's a long time ago. If you talk about his grandma, and back then, I don't know what was available for procedures.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
But that's just another perspective. It's just something to think about when people just are so adamant from both extremes. No matter what, this is what it is. And then sure enough, you're looking at, all of a sudden for me, it's reading somebody's email, but this lady was looking at something that had brought her day to a halt. Like she thought her life was over because of Roe v. Wade being overturned.
Right.
And here's this guy looking at her in the eye saying, well, if that hadn't happened, or if that mindset was there, your mindset was there, I wouldn't be here today.
Right. Having this discussion, yeah.
She may have walked away and didn't give a shit, but bottom line is that I hear it and I give a shit.
Should make you think a little bit, absolutely.
Yeah. So I thought that was an email I wanted to share. And it was very long and, like I said, very, very detailed and very heartfelt overall. So I hope we can somehow keep him as a solid listener.
And I think the point of the show is you just kind of want to make you think about, which side you're on and the possibility of being persuaded to go back to another side, So,
well, just see it from that side. See it from this side. I mean, somebody that, like I said, I'll kind of repeat it and we can move on. But I mean, from this woman who was so, distraught to look up and hear that, all that I'm asking you to do is just think about it.
Right.
I'm not expecting you to change your whole beliefs because some guy on a bike told you that his grandmother was raped. Like, I get it. It's not just maybe it does. Maybe somebody goes, wow, that was powerful.
Yeah.
Maybe this lady doesn't, but just think about it.
Right.
Just take it all in and think about it. That's all we want you to do here at this show.
Yeah. We try.
Well, not all, because we're going to do more than think about it when we talk about Trey's love life.
So, Ryan, let me ask you this.
All right, let's move on.
So, besides cheating, what destroys a relationship?
Besides cheating, what destroys a relationship?
Apparently, I'm pretty good at this. So
good at cheating?
Destroying a relationship.
Oh, destroying a relationship.
Asshole.
I didn't think you were. I didn't think that was your issue at all.
No.
I don't think you destroy a relationship. So I don't know. The big things would be like all of a sudden the person starts like huge intense drug usage or something like that. That would make sense, right? Or
hold on. And
physical abuse.
This kind of goes back to our double standard. So let's say, for instance, if there's major drug use, is it frowned upon if a man decides he wants to leave a relationship as opposed to standing by them to help them? And then vice versa. If it's the man that does the drug use or the drug abuse, if a woman wants to leave him, well, she should have left him a long time ago.
Oh yeah, they do say that a lot.
So
don't they? When the women speak to each other,
yeah,
leave him. But I think that with drug use, there's just there becomes a time.
Right.
I'm not saying right away. I'm not saying this person starts using drugs and it's like, okay, I'm bailing. Although I guess I can't necessarily argue. I don't know everybody's case. I'm just saying in general. If there's
drug abuse,
and it gets to the point to where it's unsalvageable, and the spouse thinks, maybe fears for the kids or fears for something else, and then that can end a relationship. But that's intense. That's
gambling problem.
Gambling problem where you lose everything.
Yeah. Gambling away like savings and stuff like that.
Yeah. But again, I think that it's something that maybe would have had to be approached a few times in a conversation like, hey, this has to stop. This needs to whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in first time offense, you're out of here.
Right. What if,
unless it's like ridiculous, unless there's, I don't mean to get all crazy serious, but if there's some sort of child molestation issue or something that you find out that there's no
that's
delay,
way too serious.
There's no delay.
Way too serious.
There's no delaying that.
I did not ask the question.
You did ask
this kind of
besides cheating.
I did say that.
So let's just say, let's just say all the big serious topics are all in one: drug usage, crazy physical abuse, whatever.
Gambling.
Let's take it down a step.
Like, what if she decided out of the blue, you know what, Ryan? I'm just going to grow my armpit hair out, my pubic hair out, my leg hair out.
And we're back to our
I'm done shaving.
Deep discussions.
I'm growing everything out, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Love me for how I am. What do you do?
I don't know. I mean, what do you do? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I mean, I wouldn't be attracted to that. Wouldn't that lead you to look elsewhere? Like, not necessarily do something, but to at least look and go, I miss hairless women. A woman with no mustache walks by.
I mean, is it possible for her to have a better beard than you? That would be weird.
Well, that would be weird and frustrating at the same time. That might cause an end to the relationship.
Yeah.
But like if you're at the mall and your girl has just hair out of her chest or her legs have what did you used to call it out of the chest? You used to call it taco meat.
Taco meat, yeah.
So there's like taco meat on the legs, and then you look around and there's 98%, hopefully more, 99% women with non-taco legs.
Yeah.
You're going to start to maybe want to wander a little bit. So I think that could be one that would be eventually could end the relationship.
I mean, the positive though is, she keeps you warm at night.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
But
I think that's a good one.
What about if she ventures into crazy diets?
No, because I would have been gone a long time ago.
Gotcha.
Well, I wouldn't say my wife's diets are crazy. In fact, she's gotten me to do them. But the diet thing, no. To each his own. If she wants to help take care of herself, and if it turned her into like a raving lunatic, we might readdress it. But not for me. Diets are fine.
What if she's like just walking around the house, just making crazy noises, like like a rooster in the morning, or or somebody comes to the door, she runs to the door barking or something crazy like that,
So, like, would it be time appropriate? So, like, if she's a rooster, would she do it in the morning?
Only in the morning. Okay. So, yeah. So you don't even have to set up I think that set up an alarm or anything. It just wakes you up with that rooster call.
That might be okay. No?
Waking the kids up and everything.
The barking thing's a little interesting to me.
Yeah?
I don't know if I could handle my wife barking.
Can you imagine sitting outside with the kids running around and a car goes by, she bolts up to that car.
She chases the car. Or what if we are sitting at a restaurant and the waiter comes over to take her order and she starts barking at him like she got spooked and she barks. I don't know if I would be comfortable being with that person.
Or the mailman drops it off and he takes it off out the door after him.
Yeah, I think that might be another one. That might be I might not be comfortable with that.
Yeah, especially if she squats on the floor. That's not good.
Yeah. You went there, didn't you? You had to take it there.
I'm just picturing this in my head.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good question. I don't. There's not a lot besides major ones that would be immediate. I think it's more things that would, I can only take the barking for so many days. So it's kind of like, maybe I give it a shot. Maybe it's okay.
So I wonder if the rooster thing would bug the shit out of me, waking me up in the morning with that fucking rooster call.
Well, what if it was right on time with your alarm? I mean, okay, fair enough. I don't know. I don't. We'd have to see. Maybe I'll approach my wife about this and see if she's willing to do a rooster call for my alarm.
See if it annoys you or not.
Yeah.
I want to be there when you ask this because I want to see the eye roll that happens when you ask.
I don't know if it'll be an eye roll. Maybe that's one way to end a relationship is to suggest that the person do a rooster.
You do a rooster call in the morning.
She'd be like, "I'm out."
So this actually leads me perfectly into my next question because as you're asking her these questions, I've got an extra question. So
fire away. Here we go.
We're big on relationships. So, what is the fastest way to calm a woman down when she is angry?
Well, all of our women listeners, please mute this or fast forward because this is not meant to be. This is not meant to be negative towards women at all. But we all know that men and women differ when it comes to arguments. Is that a good way to put it?
Definitely.
Okay. And because of that, Trey's question is valid. I'm gonna defend you here because I know people right now are listening and coming at you. They're yelling. The fastest way to calm a woman down, was there a besides or just in general?
No, just in general. What's the best way? Because I think a lot of our listeners, I should say,
why don't you go?
Listeners,
you go.
Maybe give her a breadstick. No.
If I had a some sort of a tracker right now, who was listening? The women tracker would be just like depleting.
What if you ask her to go? Said, listen, I understand you're frustrated, but I'm hungry right now. Can you go make me a sandwich? With that,
and then we can continue.
And then we can finish up what we're talking about.
Yeah, these are just not. No.
Maybe you're acting like your mother right now?
Oh, well, some people like their mothers.
That's true.
Like my wife's mom is really cool. So if I was like, you're acting like your mom, we'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool.
She's pretty chill right now.
But not everybody. You know who you know who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. You'd say like presents or flowers, but my wife's already told me she doesn't like flowers anymore. I think the quickest way is to, honestly, it sounds so stupid, but just to say, I'm wrong. You're right. I'm sorry.
That's what she needs to say?
No, that's what you need to say to calm her down.
No.
Oh,
that's not good.
It's not. It's very plain and very basic, but I think it works.
That would end too quickly.
You want it to build and build and build, and then
I want some fireworks.
Calm her down.
Like, for instance, my first ex-wife, we would get into arguments, and I would start laughing at some point. I don't know why, but it would just made me laugh sometimes, some of the dumb stuff that we used to argue about. And that really set her.
You're kidding. Your ex-wife, the first one?
Yeah.
You argued about dumb stuff?
Yeah. And she would, that would send her to another level of angriness. So it was pretty
When
funny.
you laughed? Oh, yeah. Oh,
I was like, what do we, really? So.
Yeah, that gets me fired up too, but I also do that too. It's kind of like, I think it's everybody's secret weapon.
Apparently that does not help.
No. God.
Now, the second wife actually told her that the third time is a charm, and that really didn't help calm her down. She told me eventually I will find that out, so I guess she was not wrong there.
Yeah.
So
that was foreshadowing at its finest.
So apparently I do not know the best way or the fastest way.
Well, the good news is all looks good for the third.
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know who the hell that's going to be with some of your stories.
We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out. But just, hey, stay tuned, everybody.
Hopefully somebody with a that doesn't remember things very easily. So.
Oh, poor Trey. Okay.
So we don't have a good way to calm a woman down fast?
Except
for admitting you're wrong?
Know. Yeah, I think as boring as it is, that's the only thing. And maybe that says something about women. Maybe a back massage.
Back massage.
Some women would be calmed down by physical intimacy. Some would actually repel on that.
What if you just tell her to let the rage out? Just let it out.
Just let it out and just sit there and take it?
Just take it. Just let all your rage out.
That might work for some people.
Yeah.
I'm not good at that because I'd get fired up. I'd fire back.
You'd fire back.
Yeah. And so.
Can we do this later? I'm in the middle of the game. Would that work? No?
Again, all of these are in the eye of the beholder. All these depend on the woman. And I'm trying to think. So when you just said that, the reason I paused was because I was thinking about 20 different women I've seen over my lifetime. And I'm thinking like, which ones would be okay with it. There's not many, Trey, to tell you the truth. I think would be okay with that. Some of them would be like, all right, cool. I'll sit down and watch with you. All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah. But you need to calm this shit down when you do. So.
Right. But that those people are obviously no longer in my life.
Gotcha.
My current person, if you will, my wife, would not find that amusing.
She would not?
No. The only thing that calms her down, I think, is time, first off.
Time? Okay.
Have some time to cool down.
Do you have to enter separate rooms? Get away?
Sometimes, but usually it's just let her do her thing for a while. And for me, it's I don't know. For me, the problem is that I want to like tackle it immediately.
Get it over with.
Yeah, I want to. Okay, look, we're frustrated. You're upset. Let's just do this thing right now. And I'm always hoping that it leads to some sort of like, great rebound, passion. And that just doesn't happen.
Hadn't happened yet?
No, it just doesn't. In fact, I think it makes it worse. So I think I get all like, I'm like, are you hot right now? And she's like, what? Are you an idiot? Yeah. So that hasn't worked out.
That hasn't worked either.
No.
Maybe we'll figure this out at some point.
Yeah. But anybody, let us know if you think of something.
Or ladies, tell us what helps calm your ass down.
Yeah. And moving on.
Gotcha.
Email Trey at stayinthegreatpodcast.com. He does have his own email. I don't know if he's ever checked it.
I don't know if I have to know how to get there.
Oh, I will find a way to get
stuff.
there. I'll find a way to get there so you can read these.
That's fine.
You're going to have 16,000 angry...
Listen, jerk.
Angry women. Yeah. So the moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. What we are going to hear now is another tale of Trey.
I love how you set this up.
Of Trey's dating life. And I have a feeling that tonight's story is going to take us out of the bubble, if you will. It's what we've heard so far are, I didn't quite, this one didn't work. She kind of misrepresented herself. I got stuck in a spot. As great as that was, this is going to take a different turn, according to Trey. I can't wait. I'm really excited, Trey. And I think that without ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So
Man, you set that up way too good. Like I'm afraid to tell the story because I don't want to let anybody down.
I just look. I don't care if anybody else out there gets excited as I do. I get excited. So let's go. Let's hear. So you're going to tell us a story tonight about what?
So I got involved with this woman at some point.
At some point. So a while ago. It wasn't like really recent.
Not recent.
Not recent. Okay.
And initially, it was a one-time hookup. And so we met on this dating site, one-time hookup. It was fun.
It was fun.
And we kept in touch. So, needless to say.
If you don't mind me asking, where did you go out? Did you?
No.
It was just straight up.
No. I met on the site, texted a little bit. Decided
that's all that you needed, huh?
And
has anybody told you you're a bit of a man whore?
Not yet.
I'm just kidding. Look, if you're single, all is fair game.
Right. So needless to say, I decided to reach back out to her again. And some time went by, a month and a half or so went by. And I decided
you were looking
out.
to get, just have some fun again.
Yeah, just to have some fun again. And so reached out to her, see how she's doing, this, that, and the other.
Good
Small
for
talk.
You. Good for you.
I wanted to show I cared, Ryan.
That's right.
So she advised me that she now has a boyfriend. I was like, oh, okay, well, no worries. She said, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a no.
And I wish I could say I'm surprised.
I was like, okay.
So this is only, you said, a couple of months.
It was maybe a month and a half.
And she already had a boyfriend?
She had a boyfriend.
Wow, okay.
So she met somebody. Awesome. So,
but she's not, but she's willing to consider.
It was not a no.
Being with you.
She said, but he wants to watch.
Whoa. No. What?
And so I'm thinking.
Just when I think I've heard it all from you.
And I'm thinking exactly that. What?
Yeah, what? Yeah. Because I know you, and this isn't your deal.
So we texted back and forth, and she's like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
She didn't say, like, where you'd be or...
Well, so I kept asking her. I was like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. I apologize. She's like, listen.
Good for you.
He's not here.
Right. Oh.
But he wants to watch. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, he'll be on a laptop. I'm like,
what?
So he won't physically be there.
So she's got like a camera on the computer.
Right.
Will be on.
Right.
And he can see. It's like he's watching his own little video.
Exactly.
If you will. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Trey.
So I go over there.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny because she also told me that I had to make reference to that I was younger than what I was.
You had to say that?
Well, if he asked, I had to reference that I was younger. So I was like, okay, I won't tell you how old I was then, but...
Wait a sec, wait.
When it happened.
Wait, no, I got that part. You mean to tell me that this guy needed part of his... part
of his thing was
he
younger
wanted
guys.
He liked
younger guys.
He liked younger guys to be with his girlfriend.
Right. He was okay with that.
But if you were the age that you were, it would be like, you're out.
I guess. But I was like, we'll see what happens.
Sure, why not? Okay. Go ahead.
So I get over
you're
there.
19.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. How young did
I
he
can pass off for 19?
How young did he want you to go? I mean, this could be
Younger than I was.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I get over there and
she get over there. Okay.
She meets me in the living room, or obviously we talk in the living room, and she's like, "Listen, it'll be okay. Laptop's going to be set up. He's going to be watching through the laptop. Everything will be fine." I said, "Okay."
Yeah. Slow down.
Okay.
Take us through what you're thinking at that moment. Right when you're sitting, were you sitting down like on the sofa, like kind of getting?
I hadn't got there yet. Well,
did she give you a beverage? Or you?
No, we just kind of were just talking in the living room.
Okay.
So laptop's in the bedroom. We're just talking without him.
That's what I mean. Were you having a cup of coffee or?
No, just standing there chatting.
Just standing there.
Just okay.
She didn't even invite you to sit down.
Not to that point.
Okay.
She wanted to just go ahead and
That's what I'm
Go.
trying to get to. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So I get into the bedroom. Actually, you know what? Let me back up. I think we both got dressed in the bathroom.
What?
Walked into the bedroom.
This is a whole production.
Pretty much.
This is like he's got his own like musical. Did you start singing?
No.
Okay, so you get undressed in the bathroom.
We go in
Together.
Right. Go into the bedroom.
Did anything start in the bathroom?
No.
This was literally like backstage at a play.
It felt like this was very much like a production.
Backstage, yeah. So you get dressed, in this case undressed, and you head to the stage.
Yeah, we head to the stage. I can't believe I'm telling this. Anyway, so we sit down on the bed.
You're in too deep now. You can't stop.
We sit down on the bed. And honestly, I don't remember if there was any introductions or anything. I was just...
This is so awkward. You look at the laptop, you're like, I'm Trey. Like, hi, nice to meet you.
Your girlfriend has very soft lips.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you for,
allowing
sharing.
this. I don't
This is
know.
fantastic.
Anyway.
We should get a beer later. Like, what do you say?
So the first thing she proceeds to do that he wants to see is for her to pleasure me. Okay. So I lean back on the bed and she proceeds to start pleasuring me. And
so he's got like a checklist that he wants her to do.
That's how he wants to do it. So I'm like, okay.
So who told you this? She's guiding you?
Guiding me. Yeah.
You're not listening to him like, all right, now do this.
No.
Like, okay.
But while she's pleasuring me.
Because that would be weird.
No. So while she's pleasuring me, I kind of happen to look over.
Oh, no.
At this laptop. And all I see is a man.
Oh, my God.
On the other side. And literally, it's almost like he's checking emails. Because you just see him looking across the screen, looking at things. And all of a sudden you hear type in. And then you hear him say something. And it was very awkward, to say the least.
This is so weird.
And I'm sitting here like butt naked while this woman is doing this to me.
What did you think this was going to be like?
I have no clue.
Did it live up to what you thought, or was it?
I don't even know if I had a chance to relax.
Oh, okay. So
anyway,
I'm sorry, I interrupt you, but I'm so excited right now. Not in that way. Don't worry.
Because obviously you're sucking in your gut. You're flexing the whole time to make sure you look good.
Well, yeah, you want to look good for this guy. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, who cares?
I wanted his approval.
Right.
You
wanted.
I wanted to hear a good job.
Let's get this straight. You are receiving fellatio.
I'm receiving what?
Fellatio from a woman.
Okay.
Oral sex from a woman.
Oh, okay.
And you are concerned about her boyfriend who's on the other side of a laptop.
Bad, doesn't it? Okay. I mean, you want to look cool, right?
I guess. I guess. Okay. Go ahead. So again, I apologize for interrupting. Please continue. You are on the bed in receiving a treat.
Yes. So from time to time, I kind of look over and just to see what's going on his end. And again, it's very much it's almost like he's just working and has us in the background.
I can't stop laughing.
So I don't even know if he's even paying attention to what's going on.
Was he working?
I have no idea. Again, all I heard was a little typing, him looking around, almost like he's looking at the screen at other stuff. Okay. And then every once in a while you see him kind of calm down and just kind of look. But then he starts searching around the screen again. So this goes on for a little while. And
good for you.
She proceeds to finish the treat.
Okay.
And she's like, okay, I'll be right back. So she goes to the bathroom to clean up. So I'm sitting there on the bed, still butt naked, with him on the laptop.
She didn't turn it off or anything?
No,
like you're just sitting there like, hey, what's up, dude?
I'm just sitting there going, just kind of rocking back and forth a little bit, thinking, what do I do now?
Did you ask him who won the game like last night or
no, I didn't ask.
Was there any conversation at all between you and this gentleman?
No conversation between me.
So you just sat there?
So I'd sat there.
How long was this?
It seemed like forever.
You think?
So ultimately, I got up, walked into the bathroom. I told her I couldn't do this. I can't, because she was wanting to go ahead and have sex. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. this is too awkward, and I can't do it.
Yeah, because it wasn't awkward already.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, she tried to talk me into staying. She's like, "Really? It'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's no big deal."
She was very generous, and you bailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel. Is that a bad thing now?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
So yeah,
I don't know what the protocol is in this
You
situation.
don't know the protocol?
No.
Maybe we can get an email.
Yeah. Anybody that's been in this situation, I mean, look, I'm not expecting to get an email about this, but go ahead and let us know.
So yeah, it was an interesting scenario, to say the least. Not the first time it's happened. Or I'm sorry.
Wait.
Wasn't the last time it happened, but yeah.
It wasn't the last time.
It was the first time. Sorry. It was the first time. But it wasn't the last time.
You're telling me that you found yourself in a situation again with a man behind a laptop watching you?
Sorry, not in the room this time.
Oh, not okay. So you're okay. So the next story that you are well, not maybe the next, but one of the future stories has the gentleman not behind a laptop. He is now in the room.
In the room. But Lord. I mean, I don't know if this helps, but he had his girlfriend, and I was with a woman I was seeing at the time. I don't know if that helps at all.
Well, I think it honestly. I don't even know why, but I think it helps a little.
A little bit.
I'm not sure why I'm qualified to make that assessment, but I think it helps a little if there's two couples in the room.
It was a hotel party hosted by this lifestyle club.
Oh yes,
organization,
the lifestyle club. Okay,
so yeah, it was interesting.
We will get to the lifestyle club, people. That may be one of the tops on my list of stories that I want to hear about. This one was wow. This one was something else, though, Trey, my man. And let me reiterate to all of our listeners that I think Trey is a fantastic guy. He's so genuine, and he's like really really sweet, and he doesn't like conflict, and he's just this normal guy on the outset. But look, when he becomes single, look out.
Look out.
And I think
I do some dumb shit.
I think we all appreciate that for the good of the show.
For the entertainment purposes, yeah.
What a story. That was good.
You like that?
I still don't know how to end it. So you just like left?
So she tried to talk me into staying a little bit.
Yeah, but did you lean over and like wave bye to the guy? Or like
I did not go back into the bedroom.
Okay. So did you ever find out anything about this guy? Did they stay together?
No.
Did you speak to her again?
I think we texted a couple more times down the road.
How do you not ask about the guy? Did he enjoy it?
Did he like the angles?
Did I do okay?
Did I do well?
Yeah.
Did I look slim?
You didn't ask anything.
Didn't ask.
Okay. Fair enough. He'll always remember you. Or maybe this is a very common thing and he won't always remember.
Yeah. So I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, it was awkward.
Thank you for these stories. And I look forward to the next one. I hope all of you do as well. Moving on. I really don't know how I'm going to top that. But there is an interesting story out of California.
There's always interesting stories out of California.
There is. It's kind of like Florida, except that a whole different. Like Florida is just random. We're gonna.
And it's further east.
That is a little bit further east. But with California, it's just stupid in my opinion. And any of our listeners in California, I think what's kind of going on out there, and maybe it's a little bit extreme on the people that judge it. But hear me out. The governor out there, I think, is a little bit kooky, if you will.
Isn't it Schwarzenegger?
No. That was like how many years ago?
Was it?
Yeah, it was a while ago. He's doing health updates now on your email.
Oh, that's right. He is doing that. That's right. Sorry.
How dare you?
He didn't have time to govern.
He didn't have time to govern. So the governor out there is now passing through. I say the governor. I think it's just the House in general is passing through a bill, and it passed for all I know. The California Assembly overwhelmingly passed a bill 418. And it sends it over to the Senate, so that's the first step, and it passed. banning certain foods that have, and maybe I should just let you know here, there's ingredients that are found in things like Skittles.
Okay.
So I'll use that as the basis. So basically, the state wants to ban Skittles because of something in it. And apparently it says that there are chemicals in Skittles. And like Pez, remember Pez?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we liked Pez. That was a thing when we were kids.
Yeah.
Hot tamales, remember that candy?
I didn't like hot tamales.
Yeah, I didn't either, but like you remember it. And then like Mike and Ike's and all those kind of gummy. Maybe that's what it is. But Skittles has a certain ingredient in it, and it says it's been linked to cancer, behavioral problems in children,
Oh, shit.
harm to reproductive health, and immune system damage.
Damn. And they just now figured this out?
They just...
I mean, how long has Skittles been around?
It's 2023, and yeah, Skittles have been there for a while. And that's depressing because I think Skittles are a delightful treat.
Yeah. I'm not a Skittles fan.
You're not?
I won't pass one up.
You're more like chocolate.
I do like the chocolate.
Yeah. But there was an actor, James Woods, and he's known to be a right-wing actor. And I try and follow kind of a little bit of everything. So I saw this from him, and of course he jumped all over it because everybody is kind of going, what? Like California, why are you being weird? People really died from Skittles. I don't know. But he makes a point, and I want to hear what you think about this. And everybody don't get all bent out of shape.
I won't.
He's claiming they're concerned about something that affects reproductive health in California.
Okay.
Like Skittles. So you want to ban Skittles, but they're okay with parents letting their children have sex changes.
Oh, interesting.
So Skittles might affect your reproductive health, but you're allowed to basically castrate your 6-year-old, is what he was saying.
Oh,
What do you think about that?
that's intriguing.
I mean, you're sitting there going, I mean, and it makes sense. I'm not going to lie to anybody listening and say that I'm for, this whole idea of children, having sex change operations or even identifying as something at age 6.
Right.
I think that's a little bit ridiculous. It just is.
Yeah.
If you don't want your son to play with a G.I. Joe or your daughter to play with a Barbie because of whatever, I mean, come on. But changing their biological makeup is ridiculous.
At that age, yeah.
At that age. And so I don't disagree with Mr. Woods here. And so they're sitting there literally passing a bill to ban something that affects reproductive health. But then they're not going to have a problem with parents giving their children sex changes. What do you think? I just thought I wanted to bring this up.
That's wild.
There's really not a lot to go into. I just thought...
Because it's almost hard for a parent because you want the kid to be who they want to be or be who they feel they should be. But making that kind of drastic decision at that age is like, what age, do you make it at 18? At that point, you're allowed to make whatever change you want to make because you're 18. What age is okay to make that decision? So, but yeah, I mean, that young, I don't have kids, so I can't even imagine going through something like that. But you would think there's so many changes going through your body, hormones, all kinds of stuff as you're growing up. What if you feel differently at 10 or 12 and you made this decision at 6 and,
I can't even believe we're talking about ages 6 and then, at 10 you've changed your mind. You've lived life.
So I don't know.
No, but that's the issue.
But Skittles.
Is that Skittles, the kids are always going to be inquisitive. They don't know anything about the world at all. Whether you like it or not, there are gender roles, there are gender stereotypes. Boys tend to be. And look, I've seen it. I have 2 boys, yes, but I also have friends that have the same age girls that have play dates. And let me tell you, if you've been to one of those, you can see the difference between the two.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can see the difference. It's not just this hearsay thing. It's like actually true. Boys are crazy. They're just... My son stands on his head at the dinner table. And no matter how many times I tell him, he can't stop moving. There have been nights recently where he's been scared. I'll go sleep with him, and he kicks me, puts his feet in my face, all while asleep. I wake up, his head is on my foot. He talks in his sleep. I mean, the boys are just crazy. He can't sit still.
Right.
And I remember that. I remember being a young kid and being kind of the same way. So don't tell me that, just because a 4-year-old says, "Oh, mommy, you're wearing different shoes than dada. Like, let me try and walk in those." Oh, see, he's trying to start identifying as a woman. Like, it's just, I know that's my example was a little bit extreme, but that's the point. Is that just because a child, doesn't understand his biological makeup, the testosterone, the difference between boys and girls, doesn't mean that he won't as he grows older.
Right.
And you're telling me you're going to have a sex change as a child, or even as a teenager, and you're 100% in that decision.
Yeah.
It just I don't.
They're ready to ban these chemicals that are in a food, because linked to it have they been doing studies?
Well,
for
reproductive
years,
health and it's been linked. They say linked, and I think that to me that's an easy way to kind of, you say linked. What does that mean?
It just scares the shit out of people,
Right? Pretty much, and especially when you say the C word, we talk about cancer,
right?
And so I think that's the way that California is trying to get this banned. Well, I mean, come on. In my opinion, if there's legitimacy to it, great. Then let's take a look at it. Maybe Skittles can figure something out.
Right.
I mean, heaven forbid we lose Skittles.
What does the chemical have to do with? Like, is it have to do with the coloring? It has to do with the shell? Did they specify?
It doesn't say. It just says it's toxic. It says it's some sort of toxic chemical.
Okay, so they didn't specify what it helps out.
Say exactly what, like whether it was coloring or anything like that. And again, if I find out more information on it, I'm sorry. Let's try this again. It says red dye number 3, titanium dioxide.
Gotcha.
Potassium bromate, brominated. That sounds like a cool word. Like you and I, like, hey, bro, we're brominated.
We're brominated.
Brominated vegetable oil or propylparaben. What?
Say that again.
PP, propylparaben.
Propylparaben.
And so these are all the additives. They're additives is what they're talking about. And I'm glad that I looked over and saw this. And so I don't know why now, like you said, why now? I mean, Skittles have been around for a long time.
I would think so.
Again, we should have this information, but whatever. You'll be all right. It's been around. Look, listeners, it's been around for a long time.
It's been a lot of months.
Like a lot of months. And I've enjoyed Skittles over the different times in my life.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, I'm okay. But the reason I brought it up was because of the priorities in California.
Yeah.
I mean, in order to get something like this passed and do this and send it to the Senate, I mean, let's focus on California's got issues right now.
Right.
And we're worried about some dye that's in Skittles.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was an interesting story to bring up.
Good job, Ryan.
Yeah. How about another interesting story that might hit home to you?
Uh-oh.
Fast food.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going a different route.
No, we had enough of that. Look, I really want to do one show of all Trey stories. Let's just not.
Didn't we try that in episode 3 and episode 2 and we got yelled at?
I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't remember. That was a long time. That was a long time. We've been doing this for like 2 months.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Have we hit the 2-month mark yet?
We, you know what? Yesterday was our 2-month
anniversary.
That's right.
You didn't call. You didn't write.
I know. I didn't.
No flowers, nothing.
You were, busy doing your thing over there.
Anyway, back to fast food.
So fast food. Did you know that there's this whole, not rumor, but like this whole, it's trending right now, if you will, the news, that fast food, a lot of it, mainly the chicken, contains what's called wood pulp.
Wood pulp.
Wood. It's like wood.
What the?
Yeah.
Wood pulp.
Yeah. Wood pulp. And everybody's freaking out. Well, what does this mean? I go to, eat a spicy chicken at Wendy's and I'm eating wood pulp in my chicken, along with a bunch of other additives, by the way. Apparently it's only 60% meat in all these restaurants.
See, what threw me off is when these restaurants started advertising that they now use real white meat chicken in there. And I was like, well, what the hell was I eating back in the 90s?
We've decided to actually use chicken for our chicken sandwiches.
Yeah. So anyway, they're wood pulp.
They're wood pulp.
How did they find this?
Well, I don't know. But hold on, there's a twist.
Oh, fun. I like twist.
There's some fun. Yeah, everyone's like, this is boring. Who cares? It's wood pulp. Let's eat. If you're going to eat fast food,
you don't
prepared.
give a shit. Yeah.
Right. Be prepared. You get what you get.
Right.
If I eat Taco Bell, I don't know what I'm eating, but I don't care.
But it's good.
It's good.
Just keep putting cheese on it.
That's just cheese. I know I'm eating cheese. So apparently wood pulp, by the way. So there have been publications that have spun it and said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Everybody that's freaking out, hold on a second. It has been debunked that this is a bad thing. What they're saying is that wood pulp is basically cellulose, which is a plant-based fiber. Okay, so fiber that's plant-based. Remember, wood is from a tree. That's plant. That
gives you superpowers now.
Exactly. We're gonna have a whole world of superheroes. But did you know that cellulose is made up of oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon? Those three things seem pretty crucial to our world.
Yeah.
It is literally the most abundant source for those things. So it's good. This is
a good thing.
So fast food, this is good.
Okay, so I don't have to Google anymore. You're just telling me it's good.
I'm telling you it's good.
Okay.
And everybody came out and said, whoa, why is everybody freaking out? This is a good thing.
So it's just something that...
Just because you say wood pulp, everyone goes, oh, that's...
They never heard of this before.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people came out and said, well, Wendy's has worms, and they're... Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Although worms are still a source of protein.
Right.
Came out and said, well, there's nothing wrong with worms, but I guess we should tell you if they're in there.
In our
but wood pulp is like something that apparently they use to make it more savory, more softer, like... do you know what I mean? Like
interesting.
So they use it. It makes it better, and it's healthier. And so right off the bat, there was this huge like swarm of people saying, "What the hell?" And now everybody's going, "No!
I love my wood pulp."
I mean, come on. In fact, when you pull in next time to get a chicken sandwich at where do you get your chicken sandwiches at?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Well, that's probably the most dominant, obviously.
Yeah.
Pull in and go, I'll have mine with extra wood pulp, please. In fact, throw some of that shit on my fries.
Just squeeze some extra wood pulp.
Do you have a dipping tray of wood pulp?
Wood pulp.
For my fries.
I need
fries.
to try that. I need to get a shirt that says I heart wood pulp.
We hold on. We claim that. It's ours.
It's ours. We said it.
Hashtag I heart wood pulp. But I thought I'd mention that to you. I think that's interesting. I think people would enjoy hearing that.
That is interesting. Wood pulp is a good thing.
But you see a headline and you go, "Oh, wood pulp. That's fucked up." Well, why? You don't even know anything. Do you even know what wood pulp is? Well, now everybody's coming out and telling you that's actually some good shit. Let's sprinkle it on there.
Add extra wood pulp.
I'm going to go out to the tree outside right now and try and find me some wood pulp for my dinner tomorrow.
I'm going to lick that tree and see
That's right. We'll be healthy. Healthier as we move forward. So
whole new meaning to tree huggers right there. You know? So
that wood pulp. Where's Trey and Ryan? Well, they're going wood pulp.
Wood pulp
hunting. So the next what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and update you guys on some of the stories we've talked about. In this case, there's two of them. There was one that was a while ago and one that was a while ago.
Oh, okay. I remember those.
There was one, in fact, the last episode I talked about, and in a very intense way. I talked about the shooting that happened nearby where the security guard was shot.
Yep.
And it came to my attention because of your wonderful research that
it was just the news.
Take the credit there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That there was in fact a struggle. I think I had mentioned that I didn't know, and I think he had just turned automatically. I still don't think there's anything different about the way I feel.
Oh, no. Definitely
But
doesn't change that.
I do want to make sure that people know there was a struggle. He did approach him. They wrestled a little bit. And I think that the guy that was trying to steal the car, obviously
Still shot him.
Still got away. Was still spooked by the whole thing and whatever. But so we haven't heard much more. We're keeping an eye on it, but they haven't got him yet, as far as I know. Have you heard any different?
Haven't, no.
Okay. To keep me from going off, we'll move on. Jordan Neely. You remember that story?
Was this the gentleman that was put in a chokehold on the subway?
On the New York subway by the Marine. Penny. What was his first name? Penny. Whatever his first name was. He was an ex-Marine, and he put Jordan Neely in the chokehold. Jordan Neely was obviously the homeless man that was threatening or yelling things belligerent at the passengers, and Mr. Penny felt like he needed to be restrained, and it went a little too far with the chokehold, I guess. And Mr. Neely, Jordan Neely, died. Well, we talked about how his aunt came out, and he was loved. Well, okay, why was he in there? You and I talked about that. Why was she not around? Why was he in the subway threatening people?
Right.
Well, apparently his uncle, Christopher Neely, who has been just shouting and screaming for the Marine, Mr. Penny, to be tried for murder, not manslaughter.
Gotcha.
He's going. It's a little bit absurd in my opinion. He's going overboard, and he came out of nowhere. Well, now it turns out that Christopher Neely, who also has a record of over 24 counts of arrest for things like robbery, burglary, and by the way, rape.
Oh, wow. So class act.
Was caught. It seems like this family, and look, I waited. I said at the beginning, I will wait. I will hear the news. I will wait as it comes out. And all you're hearing is that this Neely family was
up to no good.
Up to no good. Was who's to fault here? And this uncle was caught actually by cops pickpocketing, and he had like 18 different IDs on him and all these credit cards and things that he had stolen.
Was this recently?
Probably on the subway. This was it was the other day. Wow. And that's why it was that all of a sudden this guy's been clamoring for Penny needs to be tried for this and that, and justice for Jordan. They actually had the Reverend Al Sharpton at Jordan Neely's funeral.
Really?
As some sort of a political or some sort of a photo op. I don't know why he was there. Because this guy was not a hero. This guy was not somebody to put on a pedestal. This guy was not somebody to glamorize. And that's what gets me frustrated. And so all of a sudden this uncle's coming out and he's robbing people, raping people, and had 24 counts of 24 arrests. And why is everybody not willing to say, hey, man, these people, come on. These people are jacked up. I understand the idea of, he didn't deserve to die. Okay, I get that.
Well, nobody deserves to die.
Some people deserve to die.
But I like to think I don't put myself in the circumstances to where things would happen to me like that,
Trey, that is exactly the point. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that is exactly the point. No matter what, this guy put himself in a situation to where he had to be whatever, and had to be restrained and subdued. And he died as a result.
Yeah.
He literally was yelling at people and saying he didn't care if he died. He didn't care if he got life in prison. Again, that's not something where he's not yelling at to basically say, "Oh yeah, now I'm going to hang out with you."
I was just joking, guys.
I was just joking.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that is something that was now updated about the Neely family and how wonderful they are. So
if something ever happens to me, I don't want somebody with a worse character than me to come trying to defend my honor.
Well, where was this guy? I mean, was this a family of criminals that just kind of hung out on the subway? Because apparently Christopher Neely, the uncle, that was his target, was the subway. And I don't know. I really, really try. We try, right, in this show to be neutral, to hear the facts. But in this case,
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good for the Neely family, and it has nothing to do with race. That's what Al Sharpton's trying to say. That's what the uncle was trying to say. That's what so many people now are actually saying. Another black man killed, and no one cares.
So has there been any background on the Marine as far as, any racial propaganda?
No, he came out and said, I mean, I don't know what's he supposed to say? Yeah, I hate black people. Like,
well,
you're not going to say that. But he came out and said, look, if anybody thinks this is about race, they're crazy. This was a guy yelling at people. He said, talk to everybody that was on the, which I don't understand why they haven't had some big thing where it's like, look, passenger A, B, C, D, and E said this. Because,
you know why?
Well, because it would go against the agenda.
Well, yeah, and nobody would click on it. Nobody would, so. Everybody
wants to hear that this another black man was killed. And again, I read the story, and I honestly, if I hadn't seen a picture, I don't look for that first. I just look at the story. I just do. That's what I'm doing. And that's why I get frustrated, because I'm sitting here talking about Jordan Neely and Christopher Neely being complete kind of wastes of space.
Yeah.
They're
a danger to
society. A bunch of assholes, and they're threatening people, and this guy's pickpocketing people and raping people, and we're sitting here saying, but black people shouldn't be. Look, you put yourself in these situations, and something's going to happen.
Yeah. Regardless of race,
regardless of anything, whether you deserve to die or not, you're putting yourself in that situation, and that's where I'll leave it there. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, I just wanted to update everybody on the fact that Christopher Neely is just as.
Is that still in? Are they still in trial, or
they haven't
going through trial?
I don't even think they. I think Penny made bail, and I think Penny was released, and he's doing his thing, waiting for the trial. But I can't imagine that he's going to get. I mean, it's just I don't know. I can't imagine, but it worries me today the pressure that some of these people are putting on juries, and anyway.
What's scary? What could happen if this Marine maybe second thought, as far as, well, this is a black man, I don't want to put myself in that situation, and then something bad happened.
Absolutely.
And this guy attacked a child, a bunch of innocent people. You never know. Anyway.
Well, we talked about that too. I mean, what if the Marine had backed off, not just because of race, but because of being concerned about this day and age? He's going to be, and yeah, I guess mostly race, but heaven forbid he act.
Right.
He's going to get some sort of a charge on him when he's really doing what he thinks is right. And what if, and then he stepped back and just got off maybe, and he said, he got off the next exit, or just said, no, I'm not going to worry about this because of that. And this guy ends up killing 3 people who are innocent, And so this guy steps in, and instead of saying, you know what, he did what he thought was right. This guy's a good guy. He has no criminal record. He has no assaults of people in the subway. And this guy stepped in and said, he's threatening everybody.
Right.
I don't like it. I'm going to subdue this guy. And the guy died. Maybe the guy shouldn't have been threatening everybody. That's how I feel. So, that being said, I've got a question for you to end the show tonight.
Uh-oh.
We already heard a story earlier, a fantastic story, about Trey and his dating apps. And don't get excited, because this isn't going to be another story. We'll save that for hopefully the next episode. I look forward to every time he says, you know what, I'll tell a story tonight. What I have is a question for you with terminology.
Okay.
When it comes to dating. And they're saying online dating, but I guess online dating. I guess in general it could be any dating, but this particularly is online dating.
Okay.
Have you heard of the term benching? Benching, like on a football team, he's being benched.
I've never heard that before. I kind of haven't.
Okay.
I'm thinking what it could mean, but no, I've never heard that before.
It doesn't seem to me like it would be
benching. Interesting.
It doesn't seem to be like something that hard. You could probably try and figure it out, right? So the one that's common is ghosting, right? Everybody knows what ghosting is.
What does ghosting mean? Because I keep hearing that term, and I've never looked it up.
Okay, I thought I'm asking the pro here, and apparently I'm not asking the pro.
Oh, ghosting is where you just stop. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, you completely
I'm
stop,
thinking of something else.
You completely stop talking to someone.
Yeah.
You ignore them.
Yes.
Whatever. Well, apparently, the benching is a little bit different. So it's like you don't dislike the person. You enjoy being around them enough to hang out every once in a while.
Hang out. Got it.
But they're literally being, not literally, I hate when people say that, but they are being put on the bench, if you will, quote unquote, while there's someone else that you like better.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, people have done. I know it's not uncommon, but the terminology is just called benching, and it makes sense.
It does make sense.
I mean, I can't imagine.
I didn't know there was a term for that though.
I can't imagine being called anything else. It's you're basically
being benched,
and you don't know that. But if you knew that, like, ouch, right? So the other term that so you didn't know that?
I hadn't heard that. No.
Okay, well now
benching.
You do. So you can talk about it now when you tell me you're benching this girl.
Got it.
But the other thing that I heard was, and I don't know this at all, and I still haven't found a good explanation. So maybe you'll know. But if you didn't know, ghosted,
we'll make it up.
Right. So apparently something very similar to ghosted is called being zombied.
No.
Have you heard of that?
I've never heard of being zombied.
Damn it. It says getting zombied is something very like ghosting, but it's somehow worse. So what could that be? Because I don't see it in this article, and I can't find anything else about it.
They didn't specify?
No.
This article sucks.
No shit. So let's think. So
zombie.
You've heard the terminology like ghosted, zombied, or breadcrumbed. Have you heard
breadcrumbed? No.
Have you heard of that? Okay.
Don't breadcrumb me.
So it's just kind of the zombie thing. I need to know what that's like.
I need to look that up.
Okay, we'll look it up. But I was hoping you might know.
I've never heard that before.
Okay. It says it's something like ghosting, but it's somehow worse.
But
what's
how?
worse than being completely ignored and shut down? Zombied. Okay. People. I know there are enough of you listening that one of you knows what the word zombie is.
Help us out.
What it is to be zombied.
Our young listeners.
So get on social media first. If you don't and you want to keep this anonymous, then email us at stuff@stayinthegreatpodcast.com and let us know what being zombied is. We'll try and research it, but
maybe we should put that question up on social media. What does zombie mean in the dating world?
We may do that.
Being zombied. Interesting.
But if somebody else gets it quicker, then we'll throw in a t-shirt.
I don't know how that can be worse than ghosting.
Well, zombie just sounds worse than ghosting.
Because, I mean, with my ex-wife, she ghosted me and we literally lived in the same house. So that's pretty bad.
What would it be if she zombied you and you lived in the same house?
I don't know. That'll be fun to find out. Zombied.
Yeah. Ask the girl you're seeing to zombie you and see if she knows.
Zombie me.
See if she knows.
Maybe I don't want that to happen now.
I do.
It's worse than ghosting.
Look, take one for the team. Take one for the podcast.
That's what he said.
Well,
sorry.
With a laptop or... So, yeah. That was a hell of a show. There was a lot going on in that show.
That was a lot of fun.
Do you remember when we sat down for a few shows and when we talked about like two things? And we got into it and we went. And now I feel like there's so much to talk about.
Thank you, world.
Thank you, world. There are so many things that our listeners want to hear that we can't just we can't commit to one per show.
Now you're making me feel like a man whore.
I don't think I need to do that to you to make you feel that way. Look, should you tell another story now? No, I'm kidding.
I'm just sitting here thinking of some of these ones if I tell, it's just going to, I don't know if I'm going to piss people off or make me sound like an asshole or...
I support you pissing people off.
Or if I get a high five.
You may get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're just trying to enlighten people about the dating world. And that's what we do here at the show.
Some of the dumb shit you can put yourself into.
God, what was that first story? It was the sex shop.
Yeah.
That meetup was fantastic.
For who?
Well, for the listeners.
Yeah.
all the way until now, which tonight's story. I can't imagine there being much more, but you're telling me there is.
There's still some more, yeah. Still some more.
I can't wait for the next show.
There's one night where I actually called you on the way to meet up with a second woman.
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
that. That was. I think I was willing to high five you that night.
I think I sent you was it a gong text?
Yes, you and I. Okay, real quick, and then we'll end the show. And maybe I'll start implementing this into the sound effects. But if anybody has seen the show Scrubs, I think I've given Scrubs a few plugs here in the show. There is an episode where the two best friends, JD and Turk, whenever one of them gets laid, they hit a gong, and no matter where the other one is in the world or in the city, they hear it and they go, "All right, way to go, buddy!" And so whenever Trey had success, I would say with the ladies in one of his ventures, he would send a text with a gong. And I would sit there and go, "Way to go, buddy!"
Yeah.
And so I think that was one of those nights. But we're gonna have to reinstate that. But you're seeing somebody and you really like her,
yeah.
So that I don't need to know every time that happens.
It's a lot of gongs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need that in my life. I don't need a lot of gongs. But at the time, it was quite brilliant.
I used to laugh when I'd send it to you too. I'm just sitting there thinking, "Oh my God!"
I laughed too. What do you think? How do you think the person you're seeing right now feels about hearing these stories?
I mean, I asked her, I said, "You think it would be cool for me to tell these stories before I met you?" She said she's fine with it. She wants us to be transparent with our listeners. So,
well, we're starting to be that.
Yeah.
And I think we got to keep it up. So you guys keep listening, and we'll keep being transparent, and hopefully we continue to entertain you, give you a little news here and there, a little bit of everything.
And some dumb stories.
Some dumb stories too. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep doing our best. And like I said, get on social media and let us know what you think. If you think bad or good, tell us. We want to know.
There you go.
Anything else to add tonight, my man?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yep.
Well, I'll see you later.
Later.
Next time. Love you guys.
I wonder what kind of internet connection he had, because I don't think he buffered at all the whole time.
Is that a sales pitch or...